Michael and Jacinda say goodbye, and it hurts more than expected. Let us start with the goodbye, because this scene is going to catch people off guard in how much it lands. These were not the most celebrated pairing of the summer. Their relationship was never the one the audience was most invested in. But the conversation that ends it is one of the more quietly honest exchanges the show has produced in a while, and it deserves its full moment. Jacinda came to the Quartermain kitchen to make Michael understand why she did what she did. She wanted to explain. She wanted him to see that she was not being reckless or vindictive or stupid. She thought Willow was home, alone, safe. She thought the children were with Michael. She had no information that put Wiley and Amelia anywhere near the coffee she tampered with. Her plan, misguided as it was aimed at one adult who she believed was in no position to be harmed by the people who depended on her. Michael does not let her off the hook, but he also does not vilify her beyond what the situation warrants. He explains what actually happened, that the children were with Willow that day, that the nanny cancellation changed everything, that Willow almost got behind the wheel with those kids in the car, that Michael himself got there in time to prevent it, that he stayed with Willow until Nina came home, that the children went to bed without knowing anything was wrong. He tells Jacinda all of this not to punish her, but because she needs to understand the full scope of what her decision actually touched. And when Jacinda hears it, when she understands that Wiley and Amelia were there, that her action could have ended in something she would never have recovered from, she falls apart. The crying is real. The horror is real. She never meant to put the children in danger. She would never have done it if she had known. That does not make what she did acceptable. But it does make her human in a way that the audience needs to see before the goodbye. Michael knows what is coming next. Willow is going to figure out she was drugged. She is going to connect the dots to Jacinda and to the coffee. She is going to assume Michael was behind it, because that is how Willow's mind works when she is in war mode. Everything is Michael's conspiracy. Every action is his strategy. Every person in his orbit is his instrument. And the fact that Michael disposed of the coffee cup, trying to protect Willow from the public embarrassment of what happened rather than covering his tracks, is going to look like exactly what Willow will accuse it of looking like. He also sees the pattern that Jacinda herself did not see until he named it. She drugged Drew. She drugged Willow. These are not isolated incidents. They are a pattern. And a pattern is what a custody attorney presents to a judge when they want to establish a character argument. Michael has been trying to build his case on Willow's actions. Jacinda has just handed Willow the material to build a case on Michael's associations instead. So he ends it. As much as it costs him, as much as he does not want to, he tells Jacinda that they have to be done. And then he goes further. He tells her he thinks it is best if she leaves Port Charles entirely. The way Jacinda receives this is one of the more moving things the episode produces. She does not fight him on it. She does not plead. She acknowledges what she has done and the damage it has caused, and she accepts the ending without making it uglier than it already is. She tells Michael that she is grateful, genuinely grateful, for the way he treated her throughout, that he respected her, that he made her feel she was worth caring about. Those words from someone who came into Port Charles without roots and who is leaving the same way carry a specific kind of weight. Michael sets up a bank account for her. Jacinda refuses it. He insists, calling it an investment in the life she deserves to build somewhere else. And the goodbye kiss they share, quiet, final, tender in a way that their relationship always had even when it was complicated, is the close of something that was never going to last and still managed to matter. She heads out the door not knowing where she is going, which is entirely consistent with who she is. She always figures things out. And Port Charles lets her go without fanfare, which is actually the kindest way this show can say goodbye to someone. Willow wakes up and the war accelerates immediately. Now, let us talk about what happens when Willow opens her eyes on Nina's couch, because this is the sequence that reshapes everything going forward. She wakes up confused. The previous night is fragmented. She remembers pieces of it, the coffee, the children, the feeling of things being off in ways she could not explain, and then nothing until Nina's apartment. Nina fills her in carefully, trying to manage the information and Willow's reaction simultaneously, which is an almost impossible task when the person you are managing is Willow in crisis mode. Michael was there when Nina got home. He stayed with Willow until she was taken care of. He made sure the children got to bed, without understanding that anything was wrong. To his credit, Nina tells her daughter he handled it with concern rather than weaponizing the situation. Willow does not believe that. Not for a second. She has already made the calculation about what this means and where the blame lands, and the calculation landed on Michael before Nina finished the sentence. The moment Willow figures out she was drugged is the moment everything in this storyline shifts to a different temperature. She was not just having an off night. Someone put something in her drink. And the realization of that she unknowingly drove with Wiley and Amelia in the car, that she almost put her children in danger through no fault of her own, produces two simultaneous emotional responses that are completely incompatible with each other. Horror at what almost happened. Fury at who made it possible. She wants to go to the hospital, get blood drawn, create an official medical record of what was done to her. Nina pumps the brakes on that immediately, because if the blood work shows the substance without Willow being able to definitively prove she did not take it voluntarily, it could be used against her rather than for her. The thing she wants to use as a weapon could become one pointed in her direction. That is the specific legal and strategic trap she is standing at the edge of. Nina tries to calm her down. It does not work. Willow is past the point where calming is possible. She is in the specific state of a person who has been violated, her body, her judgment, her children's safety all compromised by something someone else chose to do to her, and the volcanic energy of that is looking for an outlet. The outlet is Michael. She storms out of Nina's apartment. She goes directly to the Quartermain estate. She finds Michael in the kitchen, already in conversation with Gio, who asked if Michael was okay and received the honest answer that he was not, and things were probably about to get worse. The timing is almost theatrical. Willow arriving at exactly the moment Michael is saying things are about to get worse is the show demonstrating that it understands exactly how these moments land. She tells him she is taking full custody of the children. Starting now. Not eventually. Not through the courts and the process and the careful legal pathway. Now. As a declaration rather than a request. And in the preview material for what follows, she tells Gio, who is right there in that kitchen, that Michael had his girlfriend drug her and that she can prove it. Bringing Gio into this as an audience for the accusation is deliberate. Willow is not just confronting Michael. She is creating witnesses. She is starting the public version of the story. She is going to tell about what happened, and she is starting it in Michael's family home with a person who is connected to multiple storylines watching it happen. Michael's position is genuinely difficult now. Jacinda is gone. The coffee cup is gone. Trina and Kai have information that changes the custody calculation in his favor, but that information has not been formally deployed yet. And Willow is standing in his kitchen with a righteous fury that, in this specific instance, is not entirely manufactured. Someone really did drug her, even if the assignment of responsibility is going to be complicated. The war between these two is entering its ugliest phase yet, and poor Charles is going to feel every moment of it. Everything else moving in one extraordinary episode. And now, let us look at the other threads this episode was weaving, because a day in Port Charles this eventful touches every corner of the canvas simultaneously. Jocelyn and Brennan have a conversation at a table, and this scene is one of the most revealing about where Jocelyn actually is, emotionally and professionally, in this particular chapter. She wants her next field assignment. She is done with desk duty. She is not someone built for sitting and processing and waiting for doctors to clear her for something she has already cleared herself for in her own mind. Brennan does not simply wave her through. He is careful. He asks her to acknowledge what she went through, the events on Spoon Island, the danger she was in, the loss she witnessed. Jocelyn responds with the specific honesty of someone who has actually processed the experience rather than suppressed it. She has regrets. She knows she could not have done more than her best, and she did her best. She is not haunted in the paralyzed sense. She is ready. And then she drops the card she has been holding. Her father's company. The CEO offer that came out of nowhere, and that she has not figured out what to do with. She says it in the context of an alternative. If she is not going back into the field, maybe she should take her father's offer to run his company. Which is news to Brennan, and news that visibly interests him.